Hello, my name's Mark and my website address is anxietyhypnotherapist.org. In today's video, we're going to talk about why a child needs good enough parents, why most of us don't have good enough parents, and how you can become a good enough parent to yourself. So for healthy psychosocial development, a child needs what is known as a good enough parent. A good enough parent will provide the child with unconditional love, and the child needs unconditional love because they need their needs to come first. If a parent is pushing a child to do well at school, even if the parent believes that that's in the child's best interests, that's not what a good enough parent would do. A good enough parent would let the child know that they're loved, whether they do well at school or not. Likewise, they need to provide unconditional acceptance. The child needs to know that they're going to be accepted no matter what. A good enough parent is going to be patient. And you were a we before you became an I. In the womb, a baby's going to pick up on everything the mother feels. If the mother feels anxious or depressed, the baby's going to pick up on that. They're going to become anxious and depressed. And it's not until about 15 months to 3 years that a baby starts to get a sense of self. Until that time, they see everything as themselves pushed out. And in this age range, they're looking to their parents to help them co-regulate their emotions. So again, if they are around parents who are anxious or depressed, they're going to pick up on that. It's going to make them become anxious and depressed. And the relationship with the mother is the most important relationship for any child. It underpins the relationship with self and all future relationships. A good enough parent is going to be dependable, so the child's going to know that they're going to get picked up when they cry, fed when they're hungry. When the parent says they're going to do something, like take the child to the zoo or somewhere, they will know that the parent's going to do that. A good enough parent is going to have self-respect. A good enough parent is going to have boundaries because the child is going to need the parent to protect them. If a parent has no boundaries, they're going to let people walk all over them and they're not going to be able to defend the child, probably. And a good enough parent is going to have an internal locus of control. So they're going to take responsibility for how they feel. They're not going to blame the child for how they feel. And they are not going to blame the child for things that are going wrong in their lives. Some parents blame their children for being born, tell their children that they were a mistake. These are not good enough parents. So everyone is doing the best they can with what they have. And most people have their own unresolved trauma, their own unresolved issues. Parents are no different. But this unresolved trauma and issues is going to affect their parenting, affect their ability to be good enough parents. If a child grows up with good enough parents, they're going to grow up feeling like they're okay. They are going to be able to regulate their emotions effectively. They're going to have strong boundaries. They're going to love and accept themselves. If we don't have good enough parents, we're going to grow up feeling like we're not okay, like there's something wrong with us. And we're going to develop toxic shame. We're going to develop insecurities, and we're going to have insecurities that make us feel anxious about our abilities and our environment. If we don't have good enough parents, we're going to be worried about what other people think of us. We're going to be worried that people talk about us behind our backs. We're going to be insecure in our relationships, and we're going to fear abandonment. So if you want to overcome these insecurities, if you want to overcome a fear of abandonment, people pleasing behaviours, reduce anxiety, increase self-love, increase self-acceptance, and much more, you're going to need to become a good enough parent to yourself. So what kind of things can you do to become a good enough parent to yourself? To become a good enough parent to yourself, you can do some exercises, and I'm going to tell you some of the kind of things that we do on my Inner Child program to enable people to reconnect with their inner child, to give their inner child that self-love, unconditional self-love, unconditional self-acceptance that they didn't get, that unconditional love and unconditional acceptance from their parents. And it allows people who do the Inner Child program to release toxic shame, to see themselves as good enough. So one of the things that you can do is to write letters to your inner child. Tell your inner child that you love them, that you accept them, that you'll always be there for them. Anything else that you think they need to hear. Write letters from your inner child to your adult self. Tell your adult self what you need, how you feel. See if you can get hold of a picture of yourself when you're a child and put it somewhere where you'll see it regularly. That could be your purse or wallet. Could even be on your bedroom door or your refrigerator. And reconnect with your emotions. As children, we all become shamed out of our emotions. Society teaches us that emotions are bad. When we go to school, we're told to shut up and sit down. Society teaches us that if we feel anxious or depressed, it means there's something wrong with us, that we've got a chemical imbalance in our brain, or that we need to take medication. This causes us to try and suppress our emotions, and what resists not only persists but becomes stronger. So the more you try and suppress an emotion, the more you tell yourself that's a bad emotion, I don't want to feel that emotion, the stronger it's going to become. So by doing Inner Child work, you're going to be able to reconnect with your emotions, and you're going to be able to release any toxic shame related to those emotions. And this is going to enable you to feel those emotions without feeling discomfort or negative feelings.